A very good morning to all of you students. So let us continue chapter water. Here in this picture you can see that most of the portion of earth is covered with water and rest are land. So very less amount is land. And another thing, ocean cover major part of the earth. That means the major part of the water is also contained in ocean. And but then also drinking water is very less for human being. How? This can be explained with this poem. This poem is the lines of poem Ream of and the Ancient Mariner, written by S.T. Coleridge in 1798. S.T. Coleridge was a very famous poet, and he has given some lines about the presence of water in his poem Ream of Ancient Mariner. He is saying that water, water everywhere, nor any drop to drink. So here S.C. Coleridge wants to say that water is present everywhere. He is actually describing the plights, means condition. Is it okay? He was describing the condition of sailors. Is it? So he is telling some sailors lost their ships and they are within the ocean. They are in the middle of the ocean, and as you know, ocean water is salty. So he's saying that they are in the middle portion of ocean, and everywhere wherever they can see there is water everywhere, but not a single drop for drinking. Why? Because sea water is salty, so they are not able to drink any drop of water from sea. And here also we can see that most of land is covered with, most of the earth is covered with ocean or sea, and that is salty water. Is it? Now let us continue our chapter. So as we had learned in water cycle, the water from the ponds, lakes, rivers, wells actually get evaporated, and as we know that ocean water is not suitable for drinking. So how we can get supply water? How these water are becoming suitable for drinking? So actually these amount of water firstly made suitable for drinking by the supply water system, and then they just get supplied to our houses. So see, the water from the sources is not saline anymore. Why? Because supply water system actually make them fit for drinking. And another thing is that while evaporation, as I had explained in water cycle, these water from ponds, lakes, rivers and wells get evaporated just like this. You see, this is the diagram of evaporation of water. So while evaporation, student, these water amount actually just get evaporated to the atmosphere only, and amount of salt remains there only. That means amount of salt remain on the earth only, and water get evaporated to the atmosphere. As here you can see, water is getting evaporated to the atmosphere, and these clothes are remaining here only. Just like that, the salt from the water remains on the ground and water goes to atmosphere. This is how they get suitable water for drinking. Now see, we are reading about this process of drying clothes. So how your clothes get dried? Let me explain. You see this diagram. Whenever you spread the cloth outside your house, then sunlight falls on them, and due to temperature of sun, the evaporation occurs and your clothes get dried. Water from your clothes get evaporated and clothes get dried. And not only these water from everywhere, water from roads, rooftop and other places also disappear. Even rainwater also disappears after some time. How these get disappeared? Actually all these amount of water get evaporated due to sun heat, temperature of sun actually. So sometimes you had noted that when you mop your floor, when you wash your floor, or you just keep wet utensils or wet clothes inside the home also, inside house also, then also you just see evaporation occurs and your utensils or cloth or your floor just get dries up. How? Because evaporation also takes place inside the house when sun rays are not falling directly on them, but there also evaporation takes place. But here, student, the rate of evaporation is less than outside. This can be done with this activity. Same amount of water is kept in two plates. One is kept outside the house and another is kept inside the house. And then this is absorbed. And if you will absorb these two plates after 3 days or 2 days, you will see, otherwise you can absorb after 1 day only. So you will see, student, that water outside, that means plate kept outside, has evaporated all the amount of water, but the plate which was kept inside the house is having some water in the water from that plate also get lost. That means evaporation also took place in this plate, but here rate was low. Why? Because you can see here also in the diagram, the water droplets are less in amount, and here you can see water droplet in more in amount. So here rate of evaporation is higher than inside. But here conclusion is that evaporation takes place in sets also, at night also. For example, if you spread your cloth at night, then also you will see till the morning your cloth get dried up. So conclusion is that water get evaporated during daytime, during night also, in the sun and without sun also. There is only difference in the rate of evaporation. Now, so this is how water goes to atmosphere back. Yes, there are some other process also how water goes to atmosphere back, and that is transpiration. Plants, different types of the trees, this also, these grasses also leave some amount of water through it, and this process is known as, you can see in this diagram, this process is known as transpiration. So this is transpiration, and this is the process how plants are leaving its water amount from its surface. So this is also giving amount of water to the atmosphere. Now see, Bozo is asking something, we should see that. Bozo has been reading about transpiration. He asked himself how much water is lost through transpiration by wheat plant that give us 1 kilogram of wheat. He found out that this is nearly 500 liter, that is roughly 25 large sized buckets full of water. Can you now imagine the amount of water lost by plants of all the forest crops and grassland together? So finally this example of wheat plant, because he's saying the wheat plant which is giving 1 kg of wheat can lose 500 liters of water, is it? And this 500 liter of water is actually equal to 25 large sized bucket. So this is only example of wheat plant. Now you can imagine all the plants, forest, crops, grassland, all the plant variety together can lose how much amount of water during year. So this is very interesting and important example. Now you can see that here again plants play very important role in water cycle also. That means they play a very important role in providing us water, retaining water, and circulation of water to earth. So let us proceed. So here you can see that the example of the plants, how they just retain water, they just give us water. Now come to the next point, and that is how clouds are formed. So example is here. After the evaporation, all the water vapor goes to atmosphere. They go very high up to the atmosphere. Is it? You see, these are the water vapor going very high to the atmosphere. At this upper portion, there are some amount of polluting gases also. There are some amount of dust particle also, and there are some amount of different types of impurities also. And here another important thing is that temperature is cooler than the lower portion. So when water droplet goes here, it consequently goes, it condensed. The water droplet going to the atmospheric portion upper side get condensed, and after condensation this water vapor again convert into water droplets. But now these water droplets are only hanging on the air, because now they are not so much heavier. These water droplets are hanging in the air into making different types of the forms, shapes. You have seen that clouds are of very different types of the shapes. Here also you can see there are different types of the shapes of the clouds. So all the amount of water droplets are hanging in the air and making different interesting and beautiful shapes, is it? But some of them are having these amount of clouds may have very less amount of water droplet. You will see that some clouds are looking darker in color. You see here this amount of cloud is looking very darker in color. So dark clouds are actually having more amount of water droplets, and they will now having more amount of water droplets. That's why they are heavier than earlier. Now these amount of clouds are heavier, and it's difficult to carry them in the air. Now they are very difficult to survive there, so they will tend to fall on the ground. So they will start to fall, and if temperature is very much cooler in between the way, so they will fall in the form of hail, snow, is it? So these are different types of the water forms, how water comes back to the earth again. The different types of the forms are hail, snow, rain, etc. So if temperature is comparatively cooler in between, then these amount of water will form in the shape of snow. And if temperature is extremely cooler, then more amount of water, these while going to the ground, these amount of snows while going, these are also known as stones, patthar, is it? So while going to the ground, more than one snows or stones just combine together to form bigger snow, and these bigger snow are actually hail. The biggest shape of the snow is known as actually hail. So now you are familiar how snow falls and how snails fall. Sorry, how hails fall. Extremely sorry. So and this is how snow falls on the ground, and this is how hail forms on the ground, and this is also explanation of how rain occurs, how when these water droplets become heavier and they fall to the ground in the form of only water droplets, then this is rain, is it? So now you had seen this is fall of snow, hail and rainfall, is it? So evaporation is very important process for the falling of the rain. First factor was you had seen, first process was in water cycle, evaporation. Now after falling to the ground, whether this is snow, hail or water droplets, they will come to the ground like this. After coming to the ground, hell even also. Actually, I'm combining snow and hell. That's why I'm repeating again and again snail. Actually, after coming to the ground, snow and hell will also melt to form water, and they will return back to ocean and rivers and seas. So you had seen this is how ocean water has again returned. समुद्रों का पानी वापस समुद्र में फिर से आ गया, ठीक है ना, ये हमारा प्रोसेस है. सो दिस इज़ हाउ यू हैड सीन द वाटर गोज टू एटमॉस्फेयर बट comes back to oceans. That means comes back to earth, is it? So this is actually water cycle about which we has already read. So sometimes water from open wells also, you must have seen open wells. There are some wells which are open, so the water from those wells also get evaporated and goes to atmosphere and then comes back, is it? But when this water falls, you see, when this amount of water falls on the ground, some amount of water gets sipped का मतलब ज़मीन में absorb कर लिया गया, is it? ये नीचे ज़मीन के नीचे absorb करके, and these go very deep inside the earth. और after sipping, some amount of water goes deep inside the earth, just like that they flow inside the earth, and this amount of water is available for us as groundwater. You see, most of the water becomes available to us as groundwater. How? The example you must have seen, people are doing process of boring. They just make bores to get water from where they are just turning up water. Actually, they are trying to find groundwater, is it? So why groundwater? Because most amount of the water, not most of the water, a very few amount of this, but mostly we drink groundwater. That's why this most amount of the drinkable water is groundwater. Generally, people always do boring to get drinking water, whether this is borewell, hand pump, and well, open well also. Open well, that means kuwa. That is also done to get ground water. So now you have understood how this open water, sea water, river water, and lake, ponds, all the water are fit for drinking. Actually, some amount from these all the water bodies goes very deep inside the earth. That means sipped up to very deep inside the earth as groundwater, and we tend to bring out this amount of water to drink and for other processes of our day-to-day life, except washing and bathing. Washing and bathing can be also done with the help of sea water. So today we have completed how water goes up and comes back to the earth and how it becomes suitable for drinking. Another thing you had done, student, water cycle. So what was the definition of water cycle? We had already done the circulation of water in this manner. So what is the manner? The circulation of water from earth to atmosphere, from earth to atmosphere, and then again to the earth is known as water cycle. Let me repeat, the circulation of water from earth to atmosphere and then again to earth is known as water cycle. This circulation of water between ocean and land is continuous process. This maintains the supply of water on land. Yes, so in our next class we will try to find what will happen if it will rain heavily, yes, more than sufficient amount. We will see that. That's all for today. Thank you. Have a nice day.